Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. Blink AI is with us. Ashley Norton introducing another new Fixed Ops Roundtable certified dealer coming from Houston, Texas. Dustin Stookey, Fixed Operations Director at Clear Lake Nissan. Welcome to both of you. And Ashley, I'll let you get things started.
Yeah, thank you, Ted. Excited to be here with Dustin. I hear the most amazing things from our CSM team about how Dustin partners with us and just the many reasons why we wanted to nominate him as a certified dealer, following best practices, and really being forward thinking in all the ways that Blink AI can help increase his business. So, Dustin, if you want to tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Fixed Ops Director here with Clear Lake Nissan, part of the Keating Automotive Group. Been a Fixed Ops Director for about 15 years, 20 plus years in the Fixed Ops side of the business. We got a great team. We're seeing great growth. I'm really happy to have so many different great partners that we're partnering with that are helping us be more effective.
All right. Well, Dustin, thank you for being with us. I know you're working with Blink. You've been doing that for a while. Tell us a little bit about that because I imagine that's one of the initiatives that's had a big impact on improving your fixed ops performance in the past year or so.
Yeah, I mean, we've been with Blink for a little over 4 years, and right out the gate, we noticed that their method of making it simpler to set an appointment increased our appointment count overall by about 26%. That product has continuously developed, and now we have the AI conversational piece, and we're seeing that eliminate phone calls, giving our advisors more time on the service drive to do what we want them to do, which is help customers.
Ashley, that's a great story.
It is a great story. And I mean, we just announced our Blink Voice AI earlier last month.
Yeah.
And it's already making so many improvements on the conversion rates over the phones and the way that customers are responding and reacting to the more conversational piece of voice AI instead of the more touchstone piece, which some dealers still prefer. But our more forward thinking dealers are really ready for conversational, and conversational wasn't really ready for us until this year. So it's been a very exciting rollout for us. I'm glad to have someone like Dustin who was ready to jump in feet first.
Yeah.
So Dustin, let me ask you about that. How do customers like it? How do they react to it? What's been the feedback there?
Yeah, I mean, I think all customers in every aspect of the industry are enjoying AI at this point. It's easier, it's more intuitive. There's always someone right there ready to help you. There's no wait to speak to someone. The feedback's been great from the customers so far, and obviously the advisors are liking having that extra time.
Wow,
That's
fascinating. Huge. And by the way, Dustin, how did you find Blink? I know it's been a number of years, but do you recall how that came about?
Yeah, like I said, I got here about 5 years ago. We were, for the first year, we were testing, demoing, looking at different products. Blink AI's name came up from a peer in our organization, and when we saw it, we were done. We were ready. We jumped right in with Blink AI and haven't looked back.
Dustin, your service team, how do you approach keeping them motivated? And I think even more important, consistent, right? In delivering a great customer experience, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we've been very focused on customer experience, just like everybody else has for a very long time. And one of the things we always tell everybody is, as a franchise dealer, we're never going to be the fastest. We're never going to be the cheapest. So our only option is to be the best experience for the customer. And, most of these guys have been with me for several years and been able to prove the concept that if you create a better experience for your customer, you spend more time with the customer, you're going to generate more profit, therefore make more money.
And Ashley, Dustin's also very fluent on the entire dealership, not just fixed ops. And I know you pointed that out to me as well.
Yep. So what I'm hearing is that Dustin is what I love to hear, moving up in the world from fixed ops. And a lot of my history with working with dealers, your GMs of the world come more from variable.
Yeah.
So they understand variable a little bit better than they understand the fixed world. And so getting to work with people like Dustin, who truly have been in it and in the trenches for, what'd you say, 25 years. Those are the kinds of partners that we love to work with and certify as a certified partner with you, Ted.
Dustin, I got to ask you, what role is technology playing or process automation in helping you become more efficient and streamline? It seems everybody wants to streamline things right now and become more efficient. How are those things helping you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you're a fool if you're not looking at everything that's out there and constantly looking to improve. And I think technology, AI specifically, is hot right now. Everybody's looking at how they can be more effective, more efficient, more productive. And there's several tools out there. And if you're not, constantly looking at what's out there and testing and looking, then you're probably missing something. And we've been fortunate to be partnered with some really good partners already that we see that they're constantly improving. They're constantly trying to be a better partner. And, that's been very effective for us. But that's the name of the game, right? Like, how do we get more efficient? How do we take care of customers better? How are we faster? How are we better? And that's what we're always looking at here is just what's out there? What can we do better?
So, Dustin, how many technicians, about how many service advisors, and how do you handle things like service appointments? Is there a BDC? What's your process for that, if you don't mind?
So we have just right at 20 technicians at eight service advisors. We do not have a service BDC. I want my customers, kind of a cradle to grave type of situation. From the moment that they talk to someone, we should be building a relationship with them and keeping them as our individual brand customers as each advisor runs their own company. So our advisors handle all their own overflow phone calls, what doesn't get picked up by the AI piece. And that's been effective for us. Like I said, I want my advisors out there spending time with customers, building relationships. And I believe that starts right there when you answer the phone.
And Ted, I think that's pretty rare that we hear these days in fixed operations is not to have a BDC, just because our advisors are so overloaded. I mean, they have hard choices to make when the phone's ringing and the customers are in front of them. And that's really why all of us in this space started creating these phone solutions, is because the phones were the most chaos. And, for someone like Dustin's store, which is high volume, that can still use his advisors and not have to rely on a BDC and still build those relationships and still grow their revenue. It's it's a unique story, I think, in this industry, especially, coming from the background of building BDCs.
But I in the same tone, Ashley, I think it speaks volumes, Dustin, that your people are able to take it from beginning to end. I mean, there are sales departments that do that as well, okay? And trust the sales advisor, in this case, the service advisor, to be able to do the whole thing. And it's really based on the relationships they have with the customer.
Absolutely. We emphasize greeting our customer on the drive immediately, every single customer, spending the time. I want the advisor out there a little bit longer than most service departments would want their advisors out there with the customer. And they're able to do that by, being efficient, not being tied to making answering every call to make appointments. Our advisors aren't going out in the shop, and our techs aren't coming up here. We're keeping them in their workplace and keeping them effective.
And that, Ted, speaks to your background in proper multi-point inspections, proper walkarounds, being able to have the time to do that.
Yeah, that's right. That quality right up with the customer, Dustin. It's almost an art form today, right? To be able to build a relationship and, that transparency, and the whole thing is trust, right? That's really what it's all about. Sure. But if I'm a customer and there's something wrong with my vehicle, I'm probably not going back to the F&I manager or salesperson. I'm looking for my service advisor if I have issues and questions.
Sure.
So Dustin, tell us a little bit more. Your peers, other dealers, perhaps folks you have in 20 groups, other fixed ops directors, if they were to ask you for a piece of advice right now to strengthen their service department, here we are in the middle of 2025, coming into the back half of the year. What would you share with them? What would you say to them on strengthening what they do in service?
I mean, I think, one of the leaders in our organization always says, if you want to improve your dealership, you improve your customer facing employees. And I think that's where the investment has to be, is that you're spending time making your employees more effective, making sure they're educated, and unleashing them, allowing them to go to work for you. For that reason, I think training is imperative. I think we have to spend an enormous amount of time with our customers, or our advisors, our techs, any dealership employee, continuously training, continuously developing, continuously keeping that mind turning, and a lot of times they may be hearing the same type of stuff, but let's make sure that their mind is constantly willing to grow. And that's where I would think the investment into our employees, from a knowledge standpoint, from an experience standpoint, making sure that we are being a resource for our employees, not the other way around.
Dustin, what was your career path? How did you come up in the business?
Yeah, I started out as an express tech in this job. About a year into that, I was a tech. I wasn't a very good tech. I have insanely shaky hands, and that's not a good attribute to have when you're working on a car.
Me too.
Yeah. One of my service managers when I was early on said, "Hey, you got way too much personality to be in there back here in the back. How would you like to go write service?" I said, "Does it pay more than $12 an hour?" And he said, "A little bit more." And I went and wrote service for about 7 or 8 years, and then moved into a management spot.
I love that.
So you've walked in those advisors' shoes, okay? So you know that very well. And
Absolutely.
and you obviously know what works in your location with your customers as well. So that speaks volumes.
Yeah, trial and error, and not being afraid to accept a little change, not being willing to listen to those people that are part of your team, listen to that feedback, making sure that they feel valued and that they can make an impact. That's the way it's worked for me.
Last question for today. Dealers out there, fixed ops directors, service managers are hearing a lot about AI. They've been hearing about it since, over the winter at NADA and so on. If they were to ask you about Blink, okay, and your experience with Blink, if you only had like 30 seconds, to give them the elevator story, if you would, what would you say, Dustin?
I would tell them that if you're looking for something that's going to make you more efficient, make your team more efficient, is going to help your customers. The owner of my organization challenged us recently, increase your ability to say yes. And I think that Blink does that. It helps us increase our ability to say yes to the customer. We've seen, just last quarter, I think Blink's handled 1,700 appointments for us, and which calculated to about 50 hours of time freed up for service advisors. That's 50 more hours that you get to have your advisors out there spending with their customers. Seems like a no-brainer to me.
Very well said.
Very well said.
Ashley, I like that. I like it real strong. All right. So Dustin, Fixed Ops Director, you're at Clear Lake Nissan in Houston. Ashley, if our audience wanted to learn more about Blink and how you can help them, what's the best way for them to reach out with questions and so on?
You can go right to blinkai.com. You can chat with me live there. It is actually me. And I'm also on LinkedIn all the time. So if you have questions, you can reach out on LinkedIn as well, or just give us a call, and I'm happy to help. And Dustin, thank you so very much for being an incredible partner, and for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Dustin, she's better than AI, right? So
there we go. That's right.
And Dustin, congratulations again on becoming a Fixed Ops Roundtable certified dealer. So appreciate all you do for the industry.
Thank you.
Continued success at Clear Lake Nissan. So
I appreciate that.
Everybody, Blink AI and the team here with us today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.